guys, yeah, I'm Sun here, and today is my first list of the year. The last time I did a list was late last year with Gran Turismo 5, my top 25 worst cars in the game, but today's video is a little bit different. It is what I'd like to see in Gen 7, Pokemon Sun and Moon. Now this is going to be it's just going to be in a random order, really. This is all my opinion, what I would like to see. If you have a different opinion, well, I have no way to know about it except for Twitter, really. So anyway, let's get started. But the first thing I'd love to see come back is the ability to purchase your own villa. Now, on Pokemon Platinum, if you remember very well, like I do, you were able to buy your own villa. Well, it may even given to you, in fact, at the end of the game, and the resort area, I think is what it was called. And you were able to customize this building. You were able to do all sorts of stuff with it. Now, in my opinion, the thing I'd like to see most is you be able to have a house, and you'll see my next entry, what I'd like to see, a driveway and a functioning garage. And be able to build it and have it the way you want it to be, because that's one thing I'd love to see. As Pokemon is getting closer to real life specs, I'd just love to see something of that set up. Now, the villa was a pretty neat function, but I'd like it to be kind of spread out across the region. You can pick which building you want to live in, where you'd like to stay, stuff like that, what your house, what you wanted to look like, where it didn't have to look overly expensive or anything of that nature, where it could just be very simple and easy to work on. So let's go ahead and move on to the next thing, which, if you remember, I covered back in the Sun and Moon trailer analysis, the trucks. Now, one thing I'd really love to see out of this is that I'd love to see people be able to drive the truck, and as I said in the previous one, be able to park it at a villa of some sort. With the trucks, I'd like to see one that was kind of based on my truck. That'd be really nice. But anyway, this generic model you'll see here would be pretty neat to be able for the player to drive around in a kind of maybe hybrid third person, first person view. That'd be pretty neat. And I think it's a really neat little function here. Like I said, I'd love to be able to see people drive it around though and park it in their own villa, in their own driveway, spread across the region. Now, if this were to happen, I'd be exceedingly overjoyed, because those are two things I'd really love to see come back. Those are probably my most wanted things to come back anyway. And it'd be cool to carry your Pokemon in the back. I've seen in the screenshot here. This is from Cerebi, by the way. So if you haven't seen it yet, just go there. You can also see the same photo in my trailer analysis. So let's move on to the next item. And Heart Gold and Soul Silver, that was a battle arcade. It was basically the predecessor to the tournament in Black and White. It was a pretty difficult thing to work with at first. You'd have to be really lucky, because it would throw traps and crap at you, and you would never be fully ready for it, and you'd never really be able to handle it if you were new to it. But it was pretty neat to play through, as I played through it several times. You get a team of 3 Pokemon, and the farther you progress, the more they would throw at you. Like, they poison your Pokemon prior to the match. They do all sorts of little drawings, and do all sorts of random stats on you and stuff. And it was really neat. It basically tested your skills and your luck. So it was really just a double whammy, and it worked out really well for me, actually. I had a very few games, I remember, where I got cursed with the poison and the sleep at the beginning of the match. And it usually hit my leads when it did. So that was when my worst luck was on me. So, that was pretty neat. And the next thing, it'll probably be something all of us are going to ask for, I'm willing to bet. So let's move on to it now. The next thing on my list is a guaranteed shiny Pokemon, such as the Red Gyarados and Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Gold, Silver, and Crystal. This is just a really neat setup here for the teams. I liked this whole idea myself, and I would love it to see it come back. It was really amazing to have this around back in Heart Gold and Soul Silver when I was playing through. I was like, wait a second, that's a Red Gyarados. That's not right. But I thought it was a graphical glitch, but actually it was intended there. My first shiny was a gold Magikarp. That was legit, at least. And it was a Red Gyarados. It would be the second time I'd seen a Red Gyarados. This is actually the first shiny I'd caught in the wild since that Magikarp in Pokemon Platinum a year earlier. It was really neat. So, this was something I'd really love to see happen again in Sun and Moon, whether it be another Red Gyarados, because Red Gyarados is one of my favorite shinies, or giving you a free shiny starter, or just anything in general that's a guaranteed shiny, because a lot of us Pokemon fans, their first shiny was that Red Gyarados. So that was pretty neat. Now the next thing is probably another thing y'all probably asking for, and that is Pokemon following you. Now this was seen in Pokemon Yellow and Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I don't remember if it was in Gold, Silver, and Crystal or not, because I never had a chance to play those. But as you can see here, the player has a total alpha on them around. That was a really neat function back at Heart Gold and Soul Silver. That was one thing that pushed it to be one of my favorite games of all time. And of course, I still say Emerald's my favorite, but this was a really good game to play. But anyway, back on what I was saying. We really need to see some of the new Gen 7 Pokemon following you around. Maybe have Pikachu follow around, just like in Yellow version. stuff of that nature. It'd be really, really cool to have that around and be able to play with that setup there. And it made it a lot easier. It made battles less timely, in my opinion, from what I noticed, because you could just throw the Pokemon out, just walk in and just like bam, done. You don't have to have that whole animation of someone throwing a Pokeball out unless you're on surfing or yeah, stuff like that. Another thing I'd like to see make a return in the next game. This is probably another one that we've all been asking for. Is the Battle Frontier. The last time it made a real appearance was in Pokemon Platinum, and it was amazing. Now, this screenshot here is from Omega, is not from Omega Ruby, but from Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. I spent so much time in the Battle Pyramid, or not the Battle Pyramid, the Battle Pike. In my case, I spent a lot of time there, and it was really fun just to be able to sit there and just drone around with rentals and the Battle Factory. The Battle Dome, where you could it was just basically your own tournament. I won so many times there with teams you would never expect. So that was really, really fun, and I enjoyed that very well. And I hope they bring it back on Sun and Moon version as well, because it really made gameplay a lot more fun for me in the post game, because the post game the last few games have been really, really boring and appallingly slow. So that's really some stuff I'd like to see come back. And the next thing is probably another one we've all been waiting for, the return of. It is the Game Corner. The screenshots you're seeing here are from Fire Red and Leaf Green. I couldn't find any from the original games, but it was basically a ton of slot machines. There's a coin machine down in the bottom right hand corner. Now this was really neat for me because I spent a lot of time here, basically during thunderstorms, and I didn't feel like when the power was out, and I didn't feel like doing battles or anything. I just wanted to let the time roll by. I'd go to the Game Corner. I don't remember what the city was called, but in Platinum, but it was pretty fun to do on both Fire Red and Leaf Green as well. Now you're seeing Platinum as well. This was a really great function. I spent a lot of time here. Now, if you remember, they cut it out. They didn't cut. They cut all the slot machines out at the end of the whole lineup of Platinum. Was the last game that had it in, and its last appearance was Heart Gold and Soul Silver had it as the Voltorb flip. It went like through that all the way through Black 2 and White 2, and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. It was completely cut out alongside X and Y. So I'm hoping that comes back. So that's what I basically want to see from Pokemon Sun and Moon, and it was just amazing fun making this video for you guys. If you like this, don't forget to subscribe, as well as keep tabs up with me. I'll have more gameplays coming in the near future. So without that, thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.